Hi there. I am Aaron, and welcome to the cult of cinema. Not sure who we're going to get here today. It's right after Christmas, but let's have fun with that. What I want to do tonight is talk about some of my favorite films from some of my favorite companies over the last decade. I've talked a bit about like movies from 2019, and I do want to talk a bit about Christmas horror later on. It's kind of hurt my brain a bit. Not going to lie. Hey, Kathy, welcome. Hey, and ready? Hey, hey, Caliber. We are talking tonight, Merry Christmas, about the top movies of a decade. Hey, Mike. Hey, everybody. We are. So, I have got Arrow, Vinegar Syndrome, Scream Factory, and Severin. That's where we're going to start. Hey there, Alan. But let me get my. What did I do with my phone? Yeah, let me get my phone. So I don't want to miss your messages here, especially on this one. This is important to me. I'm not going to lie to you. I've been wanting to do this for a couple days, and I had Christmas off, but I figured everybody except for me were around their family for Christmas. So there's a thing. I got a little bit in myself. I did. A little bit in there. Hey, Dale. We're doing a 10 for 10 tonight. So originally I said, why don't I just pick one release for every decade, for every year? And I'm like, no, I'm just going to pick 10 releases that I think really encapsulates my favorite of the company. I definitely stayed safe. Hey, JR. I stayed inside, so. So I'm not going to pick these in any particular order, but the hardest one to get, and I tried to get as many single releases as possible. Hey, Joseph. But I wanted to get some regular releases as well in there. The hardest company for me to not do all box sets for, and while you're going to see certain box sets like just not make the list but still be in honorable mentions, is Arrow Video, because Arrow is known for their box set. That's what they do. Indicator was hard for me because I haven't done them yet, because they're just box sets. That's what I got from them. They're key stuff. So, would you like to start with? And this is going to be your choice, viewer's choice: Severin, Arrow, Scream Factory, or Vinegar Syndrome? Or do you want to go back and forth? It is up to you. But you got to decide now. In the Werewolf Minute, you must make the decision. Hey, Ragman. Vinegar Syndrome. Let's start with Vincent, one of my favorite companies of all. Now, back and forth. Oh, Arrow. We got it. Sorry. Arrow, the Vinegar Syndrome, Scream. Okay. Kathy put them all in there together, so we'll go with that. So we'll start with an Arrow. And basically, these are in the last 10 years. Don't worry, we'll get them all. So I'm going to do one of each company, and we'll go through like that. So this one, I could not leave off my list. I know I'm weird and strange and odd and unusual, what goes without saying, but when Arrow announced that they were putting out Society, Brian Yuzna's classic body horror film that unfortunately not enough people at the time knew even existed, my inner film geek let out an extreme scream, a squeal, per se. This was definitely so high on the list that it was one of the very first that I picked out during when I was going for my top 10. Why this one? It's a film that I think wasn't seen enough, that I don't think enough people saw. The fact that they included the actual comic book sequel to the film inside of here. That's one. Yeah. It is. It's a strange film, but it's a really good one, Kathy. If you haven't seen it, I do recommend it. Billy Warlock is in this, stars in this, and I guess most people know him. Thank you. From, I guess, Baywatch or Days of Our Lives. If you're older like me, then you know him as Frankie Brady in Days of Our Lives. But Society. And remember, these are no particular order. Let's put these over here. I really need that. I'm definitely into that sort of thing, Mug. I will eventually pick that up. Scream Factory. Scream Factory has been killing it in box sets lately. I've got some great single releases from Scream Factory, but I guess if I'm going to start Scream Factory and mention box sets, there's the one that shocked us all. The announcement that if you're a movie fan, if you're a horror fan, we never saw it coming, and I don't think anything else that's been released outside of whatever surprise us as much as the Halloween box set. Because this was put out in conjunction with so many different companies. It was the undoable set. Unlike Friday the 13th or The Omen or any of those, you knew eventually those could come. Because basically, they're all usually within the same company. It wasn't hard to get the rights, to get them all together. Halloween, I cannot imagine the nightmare that this would be for them to actually even get. And this one here, it's a 15 disc set. It has not just the movies. You finally get to see the part 6, the director's cut of part 6, which until this was only ever available. Hey, Bingo. Ray. Was in like really crappy versions. You get to see like really good special features for parts 4 and 5, which hadn't happened. Like there were okay special features on the Anchor Bay, but they were only okay. And we got the TV versions of the films, and we even include the Rob Zombie ones. Only thing missing were the theatrical cuts, and those came out on Canadian Blu-ray double feature. That was really, really cheap. There you go. That is a big one. Severin Films. Let's get a box set at a Severin out of the way as well. There are a couple I was going to go with. Resurrection is not good, but it's fun. I'm pretty much alone on that one, but it's not good, but it's fun. And also the 2018 was amazing. I had to put this on there. I don't have the Blood Island trilogy, but I've seen the Blood Island trilogy, and even if I had, this would have made it on over the Blood Island trilogy. It's a better set, and it's better films. It's nice to see Severin like being one of the companies that's going out there and pushing into a whole like different like world of cinema. Like before that, Mon Macabre was the company that did most of the kind of the really international releases. But Severin really stepped up their game and started. Ginger Dead Man is one where I stopped at. I wish I would have stopped at number 1, because man, Ginger Dead Man versus Evil Bong, never watched that. The Severin. Who we got next? We got Arrow, Scream Factory. Vinegar Syndrome. Now, where to start with Vinegar Syndrome? Well, when Vinegar Syndrome had their anniversary, I haven't done Indicator. I'm going to do Indicator another time because I only got Indicator's box sets. I don't have 10, so. 5 films, 5 years. It was pretty much the primer for anybody. Hey, Jacob, that was going to get into Vinegar Syndrome that hadn't got into it at all. If you wanted to see like especially for the erotic ones, if you had not seen or you're unsure or curious about the erotic stuff, like most people know going in on the exploitation side, a lot of what they're going to get, or they can find it through friends or watching like some BCI releases, early stuff. But erotic stuff is harder to dip your toes into, to know exactly what it is, you're going to like, and if you're going to like. For me, when I look at this stuff, this is for, this is, love this type of stuff. And not just for the adult stuff, for the actual stories. And these ones have stories, good stories. If you missed out on Golden Age Erotica Volume 1 from Vinegar Syndrome, you miss out on a really, really good release. Because this was a really, really good release. And if you'd never gotten any of these styles of films before, this was the perfect jump on point. I'm still thinking Vincent is going to win it. That's my guess right now. Arrow, right? The Bloodthirsty trilogy. It came in, didn't get a lot of fanfare, was pretty unassuming, had some amazing transfers. What volume was it? Volume 1, Jacob. Definitely my favorite out of the two Golden Age Erotica volumes. Both are good, but the first one is definitely more, what I consider more quality story based, if you want to put it that way. This was incredible. If you loved Hammer films and say you've gone through all the Hammer and you kind of can't quench that like thirst of that Hammer vampire goodness, Bloodthirsty Trilogy is the perfect solution for that. Oh man, if you ever find it, grab it, because it's a really good volume. But this one right here, some great features. There's a really cool thing with Kim Newman on here as well. I think he underrates the films myself, but that being said, Bloodthirsty Trilogy was one that I didn't expect, and that one is tied there with the ring set for the second Arrow release of the year, the decade. Who's next? Scream are next, aren't they? Scream is one of the companies that got some most single releases of the decade. Stuff that really surprised me. This one might surprise you that I got this on the list. And that is Vice Squad. Not only was this a movie that we longed for a long time for people that collected this. I haven't seen Boar yet, Alan. I'll let you know when I check it out. It is a really cool set. I'm glad Dave agrees. Somebody mentioned the Bloodthirsty Trilogy. That makes me happy. This surprised me. I already knew I liked the movie. Great bunch of actors in here. If you notice with me, movies that deal with like characters, odd, unique characters, and dialogue, I tend to like really fall in love with. Hence the Angel films. But Vice Squad, not only was it a really good film, but the features on here were truly collector's edition worthy. There were like hour-long interviews with some of the actors and the director, and like just, it was insane, the plethora of special features on this one here. A lot of people just see it and they see, this got interviews, and they think, 15-minute interview, an 8-minute interview, maybe a 10-minute interview. No, there's career retrospective interviews on the set from different people, not just from one person, from different people. Usually in like a set like, in a movie like this, you'll get like maybe a director or one of the actors, and they'll talk for like, there'll be like shorter interviews and they'll have like this longer interview. No, this is filled with a lot of longer interviews, and definitely one that everybody should look at picking up. Wings Hauser rocks it as a character of Ramrod. And if you don't remember Ramrod, you gotta rewatch Vice Academy, or Vice Academy. You do have to watch that too. Vice Squad. Severin. This was easy, and this was hands down one of my top 7 releases of all time, and probably my most watched Severin release of all time. It's a documentary, but it's not any documentary. Do you know what it is? Do you know what documentary made my top 10 of the decade from Severin? It's a Blu-ray. You go quiet. You know what has a guess? Almost. That was the runner-up, Joseph. But what won it? Courage the Idol was really, really good. That's Sexploitation by Frank Henenlotter. This is one of the most thorough, kind of big in there documentaries that was put out by Severin. I mean, they had like some amazing stuff. Lost Souls. There was the documentary, the Future Shock documentary. This, it's too bad. Oh, Dave, that sucks. But it doesn't suck to you in chapters in Toronto. Enjoy your. Oh man, I really want some of that coffee right now. That's Sexploitation. 110%. Check this out. This is an amazing documentary, and it's not at all what you think. It's not about the hardcore films or anything like that. No, a lot of naughty bits, but it is like the softer stuff, the stuff before like adult films were like really invented and really made. The nudie cuties, like the progression, and it's a fascinating ride with the hosting from from Frank Henenlotter and some great stories from from now the late David Friedman. Definitely one worth checking out. I recommend that everybody have this in their collection. Vinegar Syndrome. It came this year actually, and it surprised the hell out of me because not only did it put out a movie that people have been wanting for a long time. No, that's more the adult stuff. Harry Reams and Linda Lovelace. If they did another documentary on sex on the adult industry, they would be in the next level of that sexploitation. Spookies. I would never have thought this was going to make my top 10 of the year, let alone make my top 10 of the decade. And then the second disc was announced. And the second disc is, as they would say in WWE, right? Glorious. There are 2 documentaries on the second disc, my favorite of which is the VIPCO documentary. I haven't got through all of them yet, but even from the amount that I've seen, it blew me away. Spookies is an insane, nuts, batty, kind of crazy film. Hey, Hindi, welcome. And this definitely made my top 10 for the decade, for that VIPCO documentary alone. But the fact that Spookies it was ever put on a release like this blows my mind. And we are back. Scream Factory. Hey, B-Movie, you got here. And what came next? Actually, there's 2 documentaries that are actually excellent. I'm off tomorrow, so yeah, it's more than likely, Alan, I'm going to do a live stream tomorrow as well. Valentine. Jamie Blanks killed it with this movie that unfortunately got overlooked because it came in at the wrong time. Not here though. Valentine is an incredible release. It's one of those where they did the slipcover exactly right. The features on this are incredible. It's a really good film and it deserves to be rediscovered. It deserves to be seen again and watched. You know, sit down and watch it with some friends. Nice. Black Christmas is my favorite film of all time. It's all right. You got to upgrade, man. There's some great features on here. See, I'm trying to get some regular ones as well. So where are we at now? We are at Arrow. And no, this is its own film by Jamie Blanks, who was a director that was enamored with the slasher film. It's really obvious by his output of films that he's put out over the years. Well, this Blu-ray edition, although you can't get the limited edition anymore, you can still get the regular one. And I do recommend it, even if you don't have the limited one. It's worth getting because it's not cranberry sauce, but it is one of the top Blu-rays of the decade. And Arrow just killed it. Black Christmas will always has that feel, that dark, eerie feel to it that I love. Uh, Blood Rage is super fun. I hope so, Mug, because I'll be getting to that in a little bit. But I haven't heard anything. This one ran like two discs with a exclusive disc with a second or third version of the film. I don't think I've ever watched that version, but this is amazing, and I love this film. I don't know how many times I've watched this film. There's some great features on here, but what's crazy, the acting in this film is way better than you would think would be for a film of this ilk. But no, they did a really good job, and Blood Rage deserves its top in the top of the decade. It was an awesomely well-made film. Severin. It's a twofer right now. And when Severin released in 2013 the two Soledad Miranda films, She Killed in Ecstasy and Vampire Lesbos, and gave these amazing like slipcovers so that you could have the artwork unadulterated and actually put on. Hungry Man was sad. Thanks. And even gave you like a CD in there. It's hard to say. It depends on what you like. I mean, I think I like Vampire Lesbos best because I find Vampire Lesbos to be a vampire film than just Franco's Count Dracula, which was on Christopher Lee. That's just my personal opinion. But I do like them both. She Killed in Ecstasy was one of the first movies I ever watched, like foreign films I ever saw on the Scream channel, which was in a channel that was here in Canada for a while. It was a horror channel that we had, much like your Chiller channel in the U.S. So Vampire Lesbos and She Killed in Ecstasy, the Soledad Miranda one. I'm putting this in as one, and if you don't have them, these are still available. You can still find them around, and they're great releases. I think even the UK got these released later on. You guys can let me know for sure. My UK brethren, because I know you're out there. Vincent. This one wasn't hard. It's one that I've introduced some people to and recommended to some people, and usually after they actually see the film, they kind of like look at me a little odd, and then after they see the film, they're like, yeah, that was not at all what I expected. But it was really great. Oh, me too, Joseph. I love the Scream channel. You're watching Scream. We're about freaking you out. Ido Belkin was my favorite host on that when it first started. Malibu High. 110% not what you think it's going to be. This looks like a Porky's, American Pie type of fun in the sun, cheesy teenage sexploitation romp, and it is not. It is not at all. It is a gloriously dark, downbeat, like spiral of a film that you just got to watch to kind of grasp exactly what it's really going on. And this that looks super, hey Javid, super fun, is actually, when you really think about it and you look at the cover, it's kind of depressing. Because when you think about where this goes and then you see the sexy girl and the people in the background, yeah, it's not what you think. It deserves its place on the top of this decade. Guys, I'm enjoying this a lot more than I expected to. Scream Factory. It's time to go back to the box sets again. This is a more... Exactly, yeah. But in Miss 45, at least you kind of know going in B-movie what you're getting, right? But in Malibu High, from that cover, you don't get it. What have I done so far? So far, for people that came in late, I did the Halloween box set from Scream Factory, Vice Squad, and Valentine. Those were the Scream Factory ones. Blood Rage, Bloodthirsty Trilogy, and Society from Arrow Video. Malibu High, Spookies, and 5 Films, 5 Years, Volume 1 from Vinegar Syndrome. The two Soledad Miranda films, the Hemisphere's Horrors box set, and That's Sexploitation from Severin. And now you're caught up. Wreck. I'm surprised, but this is damn good. There's a few newer releases in the list for Scream Factory. This one came out last year, and came out with a bunch of others, and people kind of like people were kind of interested in it, but then they got it, and you open it up, and the morning, and it's just insanely incredible. The features on here are longer than the films. They really dove deep into this collection, and for me, if you're going to go and you are going to get I mean, it's definitely more intense than the VHS series, and for me, better. And they go tonally different, and I think that's a good thing. You can't go with that same tone. Hey, Steve, all the way through. Uh, I like them all. I haven't seen 4 yet, so I can't tell you on that one. But on the rest of them I have seen, and 3 I really enjoyed, and it goes completely different than the first 2. But I super like that. The 2 castle sets are amazing. You are going to love those. Let me know what you think, because I really do love those. So, Wreck. Zombie Wedding. See, that's a good one, Jimbo. This was the first thing that I picked up when I started going through the Severin releases for the top 10 of the decade. It surprised me. I hadn't seen this one for a long time, and I think I'd underrated it when I originally saw it. But when I watched it again, when I watched the features, actually when I actually listened to the soundtrack on here, Absurd easily made it into my top 10 Severin releases of the decade. I love this film. Love the release that they did, the way this is put together. It's something that I know I'm going to put on over and over again and watch. It's not a one-time watch for me. It's an extremely fun film. I'm a huge George Eastman fan. Love the way the features are done. Love the fact that I'll check that out. Cloud9. Love the fact that the soundtrack is in here, and Severin's been doing that. They've been like killing it with soundtracks and stuff as well. If you want to get like some great movies and get like some great like eclectic soundtracks, definitely look into Severin's catalog of films that they put out, because they put out a lot of films with soundtracks. Football. Yeah. Anybody that hasn't seen or understand that football reference that Dale said, see Absurd. See it soon and make it something that you get in the new year. It's a really good film. It deserves it. It's the real Halloween 2. I'm telling you. 2018 is not the real Halloween 2. This is. Yeah, I do. Well, yeah, I've got like a Sonos set up with the sound bar on the wireless. I got 2 wireless speakers there, which will probably be going in the bedroom of the condo when we go, because I want to go upgrade to an Atmos eventually when I can afford it, which I eventually will. All right, Red Arrow, right? Arrow. Good, because this one came at the same time that Blood Rage did. I think pretty close to it if it didn't come out at exactly the same time. The Mutilator. What I mean when Absurd? Okay, I got to stop this for a second. When Absurd is the real Halloween 2? The idea behind Absurd, it pretty much is like Halloween 2. Michael Myers gets shot, goes to the hospital and that. So basically the character George Eastman is kind of killed because it's kind of a semi-sequel to Anthropophagus. And then there's this doctor, but in this case, it's not Dr. Loomis, it's a priest played by Edward Purdue that's kind of chasing after him. He goes into the chase after, to kill babysitters. So for me, it's the real Halloween sequel before they get out there. Mutilator, love this film. Really surprised. I took it as just a regular slasher. Oh, you gotta watch this one, dude. I don't think there's been a Quatermass set. No, I gotta go to different companies to get that. Uh, but the casts are really likable, and that's the thing. I did not want to see any of them really die. Uh, they don't like. There's no mystery. You know who the killer is right away. So it takes that. Sometimes I love a good mystery when it comes to a slasher film, but sometimes when that's taken out, and they can actually just focus on the story and the characters, that can be like a strong positive, especially for rewatches. And the characters in this one are actually really really good. One or two of the girls here would actually show up in a few other films that I watched. So there you go, The Mutilator. It's a great release. Severin, right? Yep, Severin. The Wax Mask. It wasn't a hard one. Sergio Savalitti's directorial debut. Insanely great special features, including some kind of heart-wrenching ones. Beyond the Door with Juliet Mills. Beyond the Door? Was that Juliet Mills? I know the movie you're talking. Was it called Beyond the Door? If it is, yes, I have. I was a huge Juliet Mills fan growing up. But definitely Wax Mask. If you haven't picked this up, it is a great release, and get your Terminator vibes were right there. But this isn't like just something that's just there. No, this actually is within the film. It's a fun film, great kind of cheesy, gory special effects. By special effects, kind of the Italian Tom Savini, Sergio Savaletti, who worked a lot with Tom Savini and actually has kind of a Tom Savini cameo sort of in the film. If you don't know which one it is, go watch the movie and you'll find out. But Wax Mask. Well, this is a foursome, but they all have to go together because one of the big things for this. Oh, that's so. Yes, I definitely want that. Hey, Danuch, welcome, man. Dude, Andy, you gotta see the features on Wax Mask. I'm not joking. They're incredible, especially like a story that Argento tells about him and his relationship with Fulci. Trust me. I don't, but I would love to have that. I love exploitation films. VSA. The VSA collection, I just had to put them together because they are so well done, and I love the fact that when they put them at two at a time, and they'll always have a connection, no matter how threadbare it is. There's always a connection with these. So the first two had like kind of like a, I think, director connection, but the second two connection was a little bit harder to find. I didn't get Tam and T-Rex yet, but I want to get that in the new year. I didn't have enough bones for it this time, but I did get a lot of good releases, so I'm not complaining. I'll get it. The connection between Savage Dawn and Vice Academy 1 and 3, well, Elizabeth Caton, actually, to be honest with you. Elizabeth Caton is in part 3 of Vice Academy, and she's got a cameo in Savage Dawn. But the VSA collection that Vinegar Syndrome did deserves its rightful honor and place in top release of the decade. These had to go together. And look how amazing they look together on a shelf. And each one of these babies, when you're looking at the covers, when you're seeing one of these here covers of from the VSAs, you know that inside there's a 22 by 16 poster as well. Evil Town's really good, actually, Ragman. It's when you really get into it, Evil Town is actually an excellent film. We're back to Scream Factory again, aren't we? I like VHS, actually. And part 2 I like better, though. And they go together, of course. That is Silent Night, Deadly Night, parts 1 and 2. Two really, really great fun films. But what's even better on this one is where is there allowing it? Actually, that's a good question. I'll get to that. There's a few, actually. Phenomenon, probably, right now, so if I'm thinking off the top of my head. The features on these are amazing. And this one made me a little sad. watching the features on this one made me a little sad. There's a feature-length like documentary on the making of and like basically talking about behind the scenes of Silent Night Deadly Night and how the reaction, all that type of how that went. And when Eric Freeman talks, there gets to a point in the documentary where he says, where he kind of stops and he's like, I love that everybody likes Silent Night Deadly Night, and it's fantastic that that it became a cult classic. He said, but at the time, I was just trying to do the best that I could, and I had dreams. I had aspirations, and it kind of as a guy that was going to act, kind of broke my heart a bit, but love both of these films, Silent Night Deadly Night 1 and 2. It's going to be hard, but I mentioned that Severn's has got a big shot at it, and they actually do. All right. Speaking of Severin, the one time that Severin made me skip the Vinegar Syndrome Black Friday sale was when they announced this. Jack the Ripper, one that my dad had told me about for years, was one of his favorite films. And when I saw this pulp magazine looking cover, I knew I could not own this movie. It was a great release. Features are like, they're short, they're small, and they leave you wanting more. And a lot of times, a really good feature would do that. Proud to have this release. Even prouder to have bought this. A copy of this for my dad for Christmas that year. And if you don't have Jack the Ripper, it was really easy to get like at least one version of it during the last Severin sale, and recommend it. It's a really great release, and it's a really underrated film. All right, the next one by Arrow is going to surprise you. Actually, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't have guessed it. Because I wouldn't have. Because they weren't my favorite films. But the documentary, I've watched it about 6 times. And that's Bloodbath. This was one of those like kind of Corman quickies that had a bit of a tangled, interesting history to it. One, this is an amazing cover that really does not tell you anything about the films that you're going to watch on here, any of the 3 of them. There are 3 films. What is amazing is Tim Lucas's feature-length documentary on the films, how they came about, how each version of the films came about, how they became such different, unique, weird films. And for me, it was like a point when I could see the tide turning, and that Arrow were just really going aboard to make better and better box sets and putting much more emphasis into like the features. And you were starting to see things come out like the like posters, again, like coming back to the forefront, which had been gone for Arrow for a while. But Bloodbath was a return to form. And just so you know, there was a tie with Bloodbath, and that one I didn't bring over, and that would have been the Black Cat set. So there you go. I don't think so. Cool. I don't think it's ever sold out, and it's worth it. I mean, it's inexpensive to buy, and it's one of those that even if you watch the films once or twice, you watch the documentary a few times. Tim Lucas is amazing when it comes to the stuff that he does, and his knowledge on films are incredible, almost unprecedented with the stuff that he likes. Unlike Joe Bob, it's been disappointing me lately, but just saying, he has been. And if you've seen the Black Christmas thing, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So where am I again? I did Arrow. All right, we're back to Severin. Yeah, there was no way this wasn't going to be on the list. The Changeling. One of the best haunted house movies ever made. Well, actually, not really. The thing is that you have to remember, cool, that was done before Arrow started doing those big, thick box sets. That will come later on. That's much like in the earlier the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 and stuff like that. So it was par for the course at the time that it was made. But they did get into like doing more hard box sets, and that's what you see most of them now. But the Changeling had to be on this list. This is one of my. This scared me, legit scared me. I do believe in ghosts. I do believe in supernatural, and if you want to see like a haunting film, that oh definitely that I definitely agree. It's Second Sight did an amazing release of this. He does an amazing Scrooge. Yeah, always freaked me out. And again, that has the soundtrack as well. And Severin again, amazing soundtracks. You have. And by the way, I loved your video. Let me know what you think of the Angel films. Speaking of, we're back to Vinegar Syndrome, aren't we? You're not going to be surprised. Incubus. I keep touting this film's like gloriousness. If you still don't have Incubus yet and you're watching my channel, what's going on? This should be in your collection. It is that good and that interesting of a film. It's got uniquely odd, like tonal shifts within the film, but from the camera work to some of the avant-garde acting, this is incredible. Kiri Keane, actually, yeah, she's in. Kiri Keane's in this. And a gorgeous, gorgeous slipcover. But even if you miss it on the slipcover, it's still a gorgeous one to pick up. And some great, great special features. Incubus was an easy choice for one of the decade. Did you like it, Indy? I hope you liked it, because I really... I'm not doing these like in numerical order, so I don't remember. But I'm going to go through like the list afterwards anyway, so you'll, anything that you missed out on, you'll see. This was obvious. This was an Arrow release that was obvious. It came out this year. It blew me away. And that's the Omen collection. I was listening to Just to This podcast last night. And Steph and Brian were doing their top 5 releases 2019. The first one that Steph mentioned was the Omen collection. And just, I've been doing up this list earlier on, and I'm like, yes, me and Steph are in sync again. So the Omen collection is incredible. This is just amazing. The Omen is a fantastic film. You want to see how great it is? Go watch the remake. Oh yeah, man, all 4 plus the remake. And that's the thing. Part 4, you know, the one done in Canada, the Omen 4, The Awakening, with the one without Damien, with, you know, the girl. That one is on here in Blu-ray for the very first time, as far as I know anyway. Damien Omen 2, which is my favorite of them, is on here. Final Conflict with Sam Neill, the remake. I don't have the Fly collection yet, but I like these, for me, you know, almost on an even keel, but I enjoy this one a little bit better. And I do love the Fly films, like every one of them. The cover art for this is insanely incredible. And if any reason this would beat out the Fly, like if you want like a solid reason, like aside from like, you know, personal preference, the cover art on this is better than the cover art on the Fly. You have to give it that Warlock. This is some of the most stunning artwork that Scream Factory has done. And they can go from good to bad. We've seen both of it. This is really good. Arrow. Not a hard choice. The American Horror Project. And one of the most loftiest goals, one of the most interesting things that were that Arrow did. They put out a lot of good releases, whether it's their Arrow Video, Arrow Academy, whatever. But this was different. This was taking a bit more of a chance. This was really digging deep and bringing stuff that a lot of people had never seen to the forefront, getting out of regional horror out there, and it made a lot of people that picked up the set and watched it fall in love with the regional horror that may have not even realized regional horror was a thing before, or as a concept, just thought, okay, that's a low budget horror. I would too, actually. I would love to see a Canadian one, Warlock. To be honest with you, can you imagine with Cannibal Girls, maybe Clown Murders, American Horror Project, Volume 1. See, I'm on the other. I love them both, but there's just something about these three films. The second set is better, like maybe higher quality in the films. I really like Premonition. Premonition is the one, out of all of these films, I think Premonition was the one that you think is going to be the most standard, straightforward film. And it is the one that challenges you. It's the person in the schoolyard that pushes you, that you push and they push you back, and then they push you again, and they push you again. And you're like, how much can I take? Premonition was amazing. And I absolutely adore its ending. The runner-up to this one, that was almost on this list, the Herschel Gordon Lewis set. This one out. I'm trying to be very fair and trying to give a bit of an eclectic mix to what I'm doing, and I hope I'm doing that. Oh, Korean. Oh, my kids, Warlock, would kill for that type of stuff. European would be awesome. I think European, like especially Italy, has been really well done. I'm not sure, maybe Turkish one. I would be all down for that. I had to, Javid. I had to. The Devil's Honey. If there was a release from Severin that surprised me with how much that I liked it, how different it was than what I thought it was going to be, it was this. I kind of had to go back and rewatch this after I watched it to see if it really was going where I thought it was. This was way deeper than I thought it was too. Than I thought it was going to be. This was Lucio Fulci. This is one of Lucio Fulci's crowning achievements. And I know he's made a lot of horror. And I know there's the whole trilogy. But this is different. And it just goes to show you exactly what, this is Severin, Javid. The stuff that they can do. And there was a special limited slipcase covered, this one as well, which I kind of wish I'd got now. I actually love this alternate artwork here. But if you've never seen The Devil's Honey, strongly recommend it. Don't go in thinking it's going to be it's going to be a Lucio Fulci horror, like gore fest. It's not that at all. But it's definitely one of my top releases of this decade. Next time, 13 Wolfman, next time. And when you do get it, I want to know your thoughts on it. That's when you could review. Huh. So where are we at now? I keep forgetting. Have I done more Arrow releases than everything else? Or did I just forget to get all the Arrow releases? Huh. Oh, I love jazz music. Scream Factory. I think we're at Scream Factory. I'm going to say we're at Scream Factory. It's a bit of a cheat, but it deserves it. The Sleepaway Camp Trilogy. I think I forgot Vinegar Syndrome. I'll have to go back and do another Vinegar Syndrome after this. The Sleepaway Camp Trilogy is super fun. The second one is actually my favorite out of all three of the films. Though I do think Felissa Rose is amazing and does a great job. The covers are incredible. I especially like, I kind of like this a lot because it's, yeah, the placement and stuff is perfect. The Sleepaway Camp trilogy had amazing features. It just let you know the Scream Factory was going there, and it kind of like cemented what they were doing. Vinegar Syndrome. Only me would put this on a top 10 of the decade list. Only me. You want to know my channel? Blood Mania and Point of Terror. Now, these are Pete Carpenter films. If you've never seen a Pete Carpenter film, this is where to start. Now, one of the other kind of like big things about this is Blood Mania actually works really well, and there's a special place in my heart for Blood Mania for one special reason. Well, it's directed by Robert Vincent O'Neill, and look up the name. It might come up again. And Planet Terror has Diane Thorne in that one, I think. Incredible stuff. We're going to forget about Return to Sleepaway Camp. It did not happen. It did not happen. Oh no, he's not Vince. He's probably older than John Carpenter. Peter Carpenter is the guy that all the ladies love, according to Peter Carpenter. You just have to watch these. You just got to. I'm just saying. You just got to. Am I really getting down that low? Yeah, I missed out on Vinegar Syndrome because I'm at 3 on everything else except for the Severance. So I did an extra Severance. All right. We're at Arrow right now. I think I do. I don't think it's rated John Carpenter. Did they really? Well, after part 4, part 4 was bad, man. That Alan character in part 4, no, it didn't work. The Thing. It was put out by Scream Factory. It was put out by Arrow. This is the better release, hands down. Definitely the better cover. Is he John's third cousin? Okay, you're made. Okay. All right. That totally went over my head. It's a gorgeous release. It is a great cover. It is filled with special features, and I love it. So there we go. How much we got here? I'm starting to feel like I missed out on some of these. It did, and I was just lucky, Warlock, that they had some extra ones when they did their warehouse sale, or I would not have gotten them. Somehow, with Severance stuff, hands down, one of the best releases. And some of the best features that they have on any Severance release at all is this right here, Skinner. Skinner is a really, really interesting film. I love the way that's done, but probably even more interesting is the background of Skinner, the producer, the way this movie got made. Definitely check this out. Watch the movie, then sit down and watch all the featurettes. You will, because this is going to tell you the making of Skinner from 3 very different, very unique minds, and it's really, really, really good. So if you've yet to pick up Skinner, yeah, because it's Sam Raimi and the beautiful Tracy Lords. Where are we? Severin. That means, well, normally, since I'm getting down there, and for some reason I got more Scream Factories here than I got of the other ones. How many Severins did I do? Let me make sure I did this right. Yes, I did actually. All bets are off for the last ones because I'm going to mix it up a bit. So far, I think there's been 2 releases, but the second one has been the most. They're both great, but the second one is the best out of the 2 so far, and that is the Paul Naschy Collection, Volume 2. I don't think I got to say much more than that. It's Paul Naschy. It's incredible, and I think The Werewolf and the Yeti, Hunchback of the Morgue, movies like that, The Dragonfly for Each Corpse, kind of put this one over the original for me personally. And I'm going to finish off the Scream Factory ones before I go into the other ones, because we're almost down there. Urban Legends by Jamie Blanks not only had a great, it was a really great film, but no, I'm a little bit. I'm always a bit confused, man. This is me. But the second disc on this is one of the best documentaries. Like it goes from like just the genesis, the making of Urban Legend, to the promotion, the casting, everything is in this film right here. And really, the documentary, the second disc, get yourself this and watch the movie and enjoy the second disc because it'll make you enjoy the film even more. Much like Spookies is going to make you, documentary is going to make you enjoy Spookies even more. The Urban Legend disc is going to make you enjoy that even more. Night of the Demons. There's 2 sequels, Ragman. There's Urban Legends 2, which is actually pretty good, Final Cut. It's very different. And Urban Legends 3 called Bloody Mary, which has nothing to do with Urban Legends, just as the title. Night of the Demons, yeah. I don't think I got a lot to say about this one except for the fact that this was such a fun film. It's Linnea Quigley is in this one. What's Kincaid, right? Mimi Kincaid, yeah. Truly, truly love this one. And it's one of those that I used to watch and rent all the time. And yeah. Anyway, that's my 10 Scream Factories. Let's finish off Severin. Then we're going to go to the last 2 Arrow and the last 4. 4? Is that right? I got to read that. I got to count those. But number 10 for Severin. This was always going to be there. This was the genesis for my Hammer versus Amicus video series of videos that I made. I like the remake of Night of the Demons. It's not as good as the original, but I did enjoy it for what it was. It was a fun little film. And as far as remakes go, it wasn't too bad. I don't know if I own it or not. If I don't, it's one that I would like to have. The Amicus Collection. It really made me sit up and look at Severin, like seriously look at them as a company. Because I bypassed them a bit, but this got my interest. This really got me interested in them again. I love Amicus. I love the stuff they did, and they didn't just they could have went with 3 Amicus I guess anthologies or done it like that, but I like the way they did it because we get Asylum, which is a really cool Robert Bloch anthology, which kind of is an Amicus one. You get The Beast Must Die, which I didn't expect. And now the Screaming starts with Ian Ogilvy and Stephanie Beacham. And what I love, the Vault of Amicus. It's incredible. I mean, literally, it's a fantastic Amicus trailer tape. Like basically over an hour of trailers. There's 3 hours of an interview with Milton Subotsky on here. Audio notes as well. Just amazing stuff. And this rounds out my top of Severin for the decade. So what's left on the Arrows? Well, it's a new one. Cat Lover, if you're still here, you're going to be glad. But this is insanely well done. From the amazing illustrated cover art to the hard case, to the book and poster, to the features and the that they put on here, and including the new features. They really knocked it out of the park with RoboCop. I loved this release, and I haven't even like dove into everything that's on here yet. But if you're a fan of RoboCop at all, you gotta own this. Oh yeah, I've been watching. I haven't got through it all because there's a lot of stuff on here. But yeah, I've watched a bit of it, or it wouldn't be on my list. But definitely. And last but not least, for Arrow, and then we'll finish out the Vinegar Syndrome ones. Sartana, the complete Sartana. This is amazing. By the way, if you got this and you don't have it, get yourself the double feature set that was put out as well. I don't have American Werewolf in London yet. That's my next release that I want from Arrow. That's high on my list of ones to get. This is the features on here, Cool Blue, insane. There's an insane amount of features on here. The Sartana release was one of those that kind of blew me away, and I really lucked out in like grabbing it when I did because it went out of print the day after I grabbed it. Like literally the day after I grabbed it. And then of course it came out with the, I think the release without the booklet. But I was just glad to get the original release. And Sartana completes the Arrow. Yeah, okay. So for some reason, as I've been doing this, I've been missing out on some of the Vinegar Syndrome stuff. I've been passing Vinegar Syndrome by, which is odd for me, isn't it? So what's left for Vinegar Syndrome? You're so lucky, Joseph. So many people missed out on that one. Damn you, Blue Underground. Bay Street Video. I love Bay Street Video. You know I do, man. There's nothing out there. I'd been talking about this movie for at least a good year to year and a half before this was announced being released from Vinegar Syndrome. So people that regularly watch my channel had heard me talk about this film on a fairly regular basis, hoping that someday it would get a Blu-ray release and hopefully get a decent Blu-ray release that would kind of up the original Troma release that I had. Well, it did. And it did. Hands down, one of the great releases of the decade from Vinegar Syndrome. I don't care what anybody says. It is for me. And definitely. You're going to enjoy it. And let me know what you think of Mood Boobs. Because Mood Boobs is freaking awesome. Yeah, there's 3 more. You didn't realize I'd forgotten that. Happy Boxing Day. There's no way this wasn't going to make the list. The Amityville Curse Collection. It still shocks me that there are people out there that didn't pick this up. Like, I'm not even joking. Kind of blows my mind a bit that some people like have waited on this. This is one of these. If you don't have it, just like the Scream Factory one, it eventually went out of print. The Amityville trilogy eventually went out of print, and some people were kicking themselves because they didn't pick it up when they should have at the beginning. I'm not finished. I got a couple more yet to go yet, Warlock. This is a great one. It's a great release, well put together, amazing special features. One of the best most solid box sets I've seen. Getting ahead of yourself, Warlock. I don't think anybody's going to be surprised that this is on my top of the decade. Because if anything made me completely fall in love with Vinegar Syndrome, it was A Woman's Torment. Roberta Findlay's film that as an R-rated cut, if you don't want to watch the X-rated cut. Oh, the Candy Clark one is in the Scream Factory one. She's in part 3, The Demon. Of course they are, because I can't buy anything right now. That's why they're having the crazy stuff. This is amazing. I still think you should own it. Like even if you don't ever watch the X-rated version, you don't have to watch the R-rated version. But it's a really good film, and I love films in the style of Repulsion, and this is definitely in that style. They did an amazing job, and you're kind of right when you wondered where this was. Well, this is it. This is my top release, and I left it for last because I kind of like it that much. The Angel Collection. Now, I hope everybody here took my advice and picked this up, because this is incredible. I watched Angel last night. Anybody that's on my Instagram or my Twitter or see me on YouTube or Facebook know that I actually came online last night and just to talk about my thoughts after watching the first Angel film. It was a film that didn't meet my expectations. It exceeded my expectations. This was way, way, way better than I remembered it being. And because I expected more of a cheesy exploitation film. No, John Diehl is incredible as the killer in this movie, as the silent killer. Yeah, it is. It's like Third Movement. It is one of those sets. Donna Wilkes is amazing in this, and what's ironic is Betsy Russell plays it, Angel, in the second film. She's like 4 years younger than Donna Wilkes, even though she's playing the older version of Angel in the second one. It is amazing. Now, here's the thing to know going in. Donna Wilkes was wanted for this film, and Betsy Russell was starting. I think she'd done like Tomboy, maybe a couple others. At this point, Private School, I think. Betsy Russell is gorgeous, and she would become an even better actress as time would go on. There was actually, and I'll actually mention that in a second. It was called Undercover, Angel Undercover, Part 4. No, that's in the second one is Betsy Russell. The first one is Donna Wilkes. The second one is Betsy Russell. It's tonally completely different than the first Angel. The first Angel is serious. It's a thriller. It's dark. You actually feel hurt when certain characters die. It's different. I mean, like the first one is definitely a dark thriller. Definitely like a super bit of a kind of a slasherish film. John Diehl plays this character that's killing. We'll get there. that's killing prostitutes, and so you got the story of Angel. Cliff Gorman is amazing as the cop that kind of takes her under his wing, and wants to the kind of like get her out of the lifestyle. It's seeing Hollywood, Hollywood Boulevard. Basically, seeing Hollywood walk. Is insane. It's amazing. It's like when you're watching like Massage Parlor Murders. Not the best movie in the world, but if you want to see 42nd Street, it's an amazing movie to go and see 42nd Street. To see the way 42nd Street was. If you want to see Hollywood Boulevard, the way Hollywood Boulevard was. Not the way Hollywood Boulevard is now, but the way it really was in the early 80s. You got to watch this. Because this isn't a set. No, seriously, a set. When I mean, this is like a movie set. They actually film on the there. You're right. It does have a feel of the kind of a 10 to Midnight with that killer. That there's an intensity to John Diehl, and he would go on to be in Miami Vice for actually years. For 3 years actually, of the 5-year run. That's a bit of a spoiler there. And the third film has Mitzi Kapture. Then Kathy, if you don't have this, you definitely got to get this, because you will get to see from that era, and it's incredible because they're filming like live, without a permit. The second one is insane. It is as serious and dark as the original Angel is. The second one is light and funny and a bit slapsticky. Rory Calhoun makes those sounds. He's just so great. Uh, and silly. It's a silly film. It, but it's fun. Uh, it's a super fun film. You're never going to be able to compare it with the original Angel. The original Angel is like this dark thriller, and there's a whiplash in tone change in the second film, which is more kind of humorous and kind of plays to Betsy Russell's strengths actually, and the surviving cast because not everybody makes it an Angel alive. Well, they kind of had to. I think it's the way that it's played too. Betsy Russell, like they're very generous in the saying that Betsy Russell plays both parts, like Donna Wilkes, like the student by day, and then the hooker by night. No, Betsy Russell pretty much this part disappears really quickly from there, and this part becomes very prominent within this one here. And that being said, you would think a tagline of a film that says high school honor student by night. You want to do this, Mug? Hollywood hooker by day will be this like super sleazy exploitation-y type of film, and that will be kind of it. But it's not. It's not at all. Actually, Donna Wilkes is not naked in this film. She was nude in films before this, but not in this one. Neither is Betsy Russell, as far as I remember, in part two. Uh, there you go, Mike. But she was in other films. Like they had other people like there's nude sequences. They had other people for that, but the lead actresses weren't. And the third one goes back to kind of a darker tone again, more of an adventure like an action film, but it's more of a darker tone than the second one. So it tries to go back more towards what the first one did. I got to rewatch this one. This is the only one I haven't seen really yet. Betsy Russell was an extremely nice person actually. She didn't seem to like the Angel movie that she did very much. It was kind of sad. I'll mention that in a second actually. But Angel 3, definitely, I'm checking this out tonight. So there you go, guys. 10 for 10. And in case you didn't pick up on my super clever title, I did 10 movies for 10 years, 4 companies. Come on, give me some credit. That's not bad. It's not a bad idea. Yeah. Well, in private school, that literally because Phoebe Cates would, actually. Thank you, Enready. I'm actually kind of proud of this one. It took me a while to get these lists together. Oh, the UK companies. That I do need to do. Undercover Angel. Yes. Is it? I don't think Undercover Angel is on Blu-ray. It wasn't part of the series. In actuality, part 3 and part 4 were done not with Robert O'Neill. Thank you. They were done by other people. The original people had nothing to do with parts 3 and 4. But 3 is more tonally there. Angel Undercover, which is I will definitely be doing a documentary show. I love documentaries. So that's coming up. I was doing a holiday horror thing, and eventually I want to do that too before the end of the year if I can get around to it. We do need Cheerleader Camp on Blue. I love Cheerleader Camp. I had the poster of that in my room in college. Shows. Ooh, Dave, I have a room full of TV. Not like some people have like. I have a room. This is all movies. TV is in another room. Yeah, with lots of nudity. Who put that out? Was that Showcase? Was it Showcase that did that one? Christmas horror. I can do Christmas horror at the end of the year. We even talk about Christmas Evil. Fiona Apple's dad stars in that one. My posters that I have in my room in college had cheerleader camp, where the skeleton, the cheering, the Betsy Russell skeleton, and on my ceiling, which obviously you can tell I was obviously a whiz with the ladies, had a poster of Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. No game, I tell you. No game at all. But, but yeah. So, to go through those at the end. Yeah, Athenian Massacre was in the fourth one. It's very much into a softcore type of film. Much along the lines of maybe like the later Night Eyes or something like that. Yeah, if you ever interview R.A. Melhoff, you can tell him he was actually kind of my good luck charm in college, and yeah. Thank you, R.A. Melhoff. So, top 10 for those that just came in, and very quickly. For Vinegar Syndrome, it was 5 films, 5 years, volume 1. There was no features on this. The features were having these movies on Blu-ray. If you'd never collected any adult films before and you're kind of wondering what it was about or what it was like, this was an amazing start and would get people addicted to collecting some actual really great films. Well, in high school, I had like that type of stuff. Like I had like Tiffany posters because I was a huge fan of Tiffany, and Alyssa Milano actually too, because that's my age demographic, right? Malibu High, Spookies. I haven't seen the new Witcher yet. My better half has. The VSAs. She might bring some of those upstairs actually. Watch. Incubus. Blood Mania, Point of Terror. There's nothing out there. I like Debbie Gibson too, but I'm a sucker for redheads. And brunettes too, apparently. A Woman's Torment, and of course, some of the best box sets that came out: the Angel Collection and the Annabelle Curse Collection. For those that came in late. For Severin, there was the Amicus Collection. I love Belinda Carlisle, and I had the Circle in the Sand album, by the way. Oh, we'll get to that as well, by the way. Hemisphere Horrors. That's Sexploitation. If you didn't get this one, 13th Wolfman, you need to get this one. I'm not even joking. Got to get this one. The Sola de Miranda series. Skinner. Devil's Honey. Changeling. Jack the Ripper. Wax Mask. And Absurd. 10 for 10. Actually, I love Lust in the Dust. I didn't get to my what do you call them? My honorable mentions yet. But Lust in the Dust is definitely my honorable mentions because that is actually a really good film. I love Divine. If I had the movie, Polyester would be on a Criterion list. Complete Sartana. Yes, I did. How did you know? Yeah, I just look like a Bay City Rollers guy. Is that it? RoboCop. The Thing. I'm actually surprised you knew that. American Horror Project. Bloodbath. The Mutilator. Blood Rage. Bloodthirsty Trilogy. Society, that's 9. Number 10, what was number 10? It's over there actually. And it's With No Eye. That's how I was out. That's what I forgot to bring over. Night of the Demons, Urban Legend, Paul Naschy Collection Volume 2, Sleepaway Camp Trilogy, the Insanely Good Omen Collection, Silent Night, Deadly Night 1 and 2, Wreck Collection, Valentine, Vice Squad, and the box set that shouldn't have happened, that couldn't have happened, but it did happen, Halloween. What I'm holding in my hand here was never supposed to happen, but it did. Good taste. I like Deadly Manor. I haven't seen Edge of the Axe for years. I think did it really, Society? I'm proud of you, Warlock. But so that's my 10 4 10. I'm super proud of me for the alliteration with that. Javid, definitely check Society. It's a really good film, and a really different one. Justin is fantastic in it. Well, he did a fantastic job with it. Billy Warlock. Do I have the movie called Meatballs? I'm Canadian. I had to have meatballs. It's in like it's one of the things you got to get when you're Canadian. Thank you. There's lots of others I could have mentioned. Now there are a lot of what you would call like honorable mentions. But due to the length of this video, and due to, I think, you guys liking this video, I will be doing a video called Honorable Mentions. Yeah, because I have a lot more to talk about. It's been a decade. It's been 10 years. And 8 of those years, guys, I was on here with you. No matter where you started, I've been on here for 8 years doing this. So for a good part of this decade, thanks. I've been here doing this journey, this collecting journey, which started a lot smaller. No, I don't have the Happy Days cartoon series, but I would love to have it. This is a really cool one. I'm a big Happy Days fan. I do have a lot, over 2,000 actually. The Top 10 TV one is an excellent idea. I'm gonna have to do that. I got to write some of this stuff down. I got to do a documentary one. My next one is going to be is definitely going to be the honorable mentions. Then after that, it's going to be Holiday Horse. I apologize, Javid, for some of the earlier videos with the sound and stuff like that. But at least you get to see my cats and my kids when they're younger. And I'm much more, I guess at the time, kind of more nervous, more awkward me, if that's possible. The HMV Chronicles. The Pin Chronicles as well. I did that right afterwards. I am a epileptic and a big stutterer. So bullies has been something for me for like since I've been like really young. But hey, let's keep it positive. But thank you very much. Top 10 spaghetti, top 10 non-spaghetti. That's a fantastic idea, Weldon. I got to write these down. Keep mentioning these so that I don't forget them when I do a video, because you guys have some amazing ideas. Kubrick Lover, you're coming in at the end, man. You got to rewatch this one. It's a good one. Adam Motel. Do I want to know? Do I want to know, Kubrick? Is there something you want to tell us? When you said that, Javid, I immediately thought of back on my Saturday days of watching early Saturday Night Live, and Norm Bates School for Hotel Management. Check it out if you have, it's on YouTube, by the way. Norm Bates School for Hotel Management was a skit from Saturday Night Live. Come here, I've got all the keys. I've got the key to room 1. Do they call you the? Some people did. I think more so. It started as kind of a joke. I was doing some live streams with some people And there was 4K Cinema HD was there, and oh man, there's a few guys there, like Movie Cave Dave, and I remember those guys, like they were there. And one of the jokes, one of them said, I can't remember which one it is right now. I'm not sure if it's 4K or if it was. Indy, you might know. So that's what they said, because I was always rambling off like weird like movie trivia facts. So they called me the professor, which was a loving like gag, I think. Um, yeah, exactly. So that's where that came from. We all get a little mad sometimes. That was a horrible rendition of that, and I'm a huge Anthony Perkins fan. Top 10 best kills of the decade vid. But that's kind of like that's what you expect like Dead Meat to do, right? James Janice, who talks about all the kills. But anyway, at 86 minutes, and with my voice going, because I had to work today too, thank you so much for joining me here at the Movie Library tonight. I am Aaron. You are the cult of cinema. I still think that's a great name. You guys rock. Oh, dude, I'm jealous. Oh, the Psycho books are really different. You guys are awesome. And I'll talk to you guys soon. See you tomorrow, because hopefully tomorrow we're going to do honorable mentions. Later, guys.